you. It is now my pleasure to turn today's program over to Mr. Chad Vincent, Director of Lean Manufacturing. Mr. Vincent, the floor is yours.
Hello, thank you very much, everyone. Thanks for joining me for today's webinar. My name is Chad Vincent. I'm the Director of Lean Manufacturing for American Railcar Industries, located here in St. Charles, Missouri. That's just on the outskirts of St. Louis, just to give you some geographical area there. But I'm also the past chair of the Lean Certification Oversight and Appeals Committee. So again, thank you for taking the time out of your day to join us for this webinar. I'm going to spend about 30 minutes or so talking about Lean, what Lean is, how Lean can benefit you and your organization, and how you can get started with Lean. And then I'll take some time, a few minutes at the end of the call to answer some of your questions. If we don't get to everyone's questions, no worries. We will, if it's included in the Q&A section, we will definitely get an answer out to you post the webinar. So let's go ahead and get started. So what is Lean? Lean methodology aims to deliver maximum value while minimizing waste. When implementing as an overarching business philosophy, Lean drives sustainable improvements and results, offering an immense value for both businesses and individuals. Lean's not industry specific because waste and inefficiencies can be present in any process. Lean can be implemented at companies of any size, for any service or product, and in any industry, including healthcare, which has gotten pretty hot within the Lean practitioner circles as of late. Those that stay in tune, ThedaCare has published a number of Lean books related to application of Lean within the healthcare industry. Biomedical, a lot of automation, a lot of automated processes, a lot of processing, creating biomedical and pharmaceutical products. You've got the financial sectors, that are diving into Lean, trying to eliminate waste, eliminate and improve quality of their services to the benefit of their customers. And of course, manufacturing has been practicing Lean for quite some time. The aerospace industry, those that are familiar with Lean terms such as takt time, those are actually derived from the aerospace industry back in the early 1900s. And then the oil and gas industry has been adopting Lean principles for quite some time, and in more industries. So the Lean Certification Alliance is a partnership of 3 nonprofit organizations that sets a standard for operational excellence and an improved workforce. These partners, the Association for Manufacturing Excellence, known as AME, the Shingo Institute, and SME, they draw on their collective experience, the proven practices of thousands of individual members to provide continuous improvement practitioners such as yourselves in-depth access to the latest Lean and continuous improvement thinking and best practices. The Alliance created and it maintains the Lean certification program and offers high-quality training, education, and other relevant resources to facilitate the continuous improvement journey. The Alliance also supports collaboration and partnerships to create a community of practitioners to inspire one another as they strive for operational excellence, which is a huge benefit for us Lean practitioners because it's very nice to learn from each other, learn from each other's journey and how they've applied things where they work or what companies that they have helped out in the past. Recently, the Alliance issued a white paper demonstrating how Lean can support continuous improvement and long-term competitive success through the relentless pursuit of eliminating waste, overburden, and unevenness or irregularities. The paper, called Lean into Continuous Improvement, explores a number of different topics. The value of Lean professionally and personally for individuals and their companies. because lean not only impacts organizations, it can have a profound impact on the individuals that continuously improve themselves through learning lean. An explanation and diagram of the lean principles, systems, and tools, and that relationship of that particular model of how principles and systems and tools actually link together as part of your growth in the lean journey. In ways lean and Six Sigma work together. I've practiced Six Sigma in the past. I'm a black belt, and I've also got the lean certifications, and they do have a role working with each other and how you apply those, and how an organization can adopt a lean culture to become a lean enterprise. And enterprise in this term, in the way that we use it, means the overall organization, all aspects of the organization, functions, products, and services that an entire organization would deliver. Regardless of the industry, business competitiveness is fundamental. Lean delivers a value to the customers by engaging everyone in the organization in the journey of continuous improvement by the relentless pursuit and eliminating waste, overburden, and unevenness or irregularities within the processes. According to the classic, nationally best-selling book from 1990, The Machine That Changed the World, lean production is lean because it uses less of everything compared with mass production. Half the human effort in the factory, half the manufacturing space, half the investment in tools, half the engineering hours to develop new product in half the time. Also, it requires keeping far less than half the inventory on site, results in many fewer defects, and produces a greater and ever-growing variety of products. Well, one thing about this quote that's very interesting is it talks about everything cutting in half to produce the same. And I challenge early on that makes perfect sense from that standpoint, but when you talk about the strategic outlook of an organization, look at it as the glass half full. Yeah, we can produce more with the same amount of resources and people that we currently have. So the idea is not to cut our workforce or cut our assets. The idea is to better utilize the capacity of our current assets and current resources. Today, in order to be successful, all areas of the company, beyond production, all functions, need lean thinking. And to make more, your supporting processes also have to do more. Due to the dynamic environments, new facility openings, employees hired, products and services introduced, changing technology, lean is a never-ending commitment to continuous improvement. By eliminating inefficiencies, it creates new opportunities. For maximum success, lean should be used as it's intended, as a business philosophy. It's understood and executed from the corner office all the way to the shop floor to the execution of the process. That means it's important to invest in its employees so that they have the right knowledge and skills to ensure a company is operating at its most competitive all the time. It's everyone, every day, everywhere. When employees are trained to think lean, they ask important questions. Why? What? How? Why do we do it? What do we need? How do we connect with other processes? How do we accomplish what it is that we need to accomplish? When anchored on lean principles, the answers will drive the competitive advantage. The answers will drive continuous improvement. This lean thinking becomes a foundation of every employee's mindset to help the company to be better, quicker, stronger. As it becomes ingrained into the culture, it drives the behaviors of all employees, including new hires, because it becomes effective to foster an environment that supports long-term competitive success. There's a number of advantages to lean to businesses as a whole. Businesses can use lean principles to increase the speed and innovation while creating more value for the customer. And increase quality through fewer defects and rework. Increase the efficiency from fewer machine or process breakdowns. We improve customer service through better response times. We improve employee engagement because now every employee is asking the right questions, becoming engaged and finding the answers to the solutions of their processes, becoming their own CEOs within the circle of their influence. They become increasingly creative in finding solutions, and it increases overall productivity. And of course, the end result, increased cash flow, because we reduce the time of converting material or information into something our customers will buy. Developing a lean mindset and applying its principles, it's not only knowledge, but it's application to gain experience, can provide a direct benefit to everyone from executives to those working at the point of execution, at the point of the process. Competitive challenges and opportunities are always evolving. Companies value employees who are trained to identify inefficiencies and waste, drive business improvements along the way. Individuals demonstrating lean thinking and commitment to continuous improvement are typically the ones driving this positive change, which can lead to career advancement. Employees also can feel more job satisfaction as they witness their ideas positively impact their organization and are recognized for their efforts. And me personally, it's one step further. At some point in time in your own personal lean journey, you become a coach, you become a mentor, you become a sensei. And that next level satisfaction is being able to see others take their ideas and positively impact their processes and their organization and see that light bulb go off in their head. That is satisfying to me because I know I have provided them a knowledge to ask those right questions, to use the right tools, to apply themselves and come up with their own solution. That right there is hugely satisfactory for myself now that I'm further along in my lean journey. Earlier on, it was great being able to apply my ideas, but now it's no longer about my ideas. It's about everyone else's and me being able to help them make their ideas become reality. So from an individual standpoint, there are a number of advantages for continuing your own personal lean journey. Lean thinking helps everyone identify inefficiencies and waste, not only within the spheres of their influence, but also the processes and tasks and stuff that they do themselves on a daily basis. Drive the business improvements and advance his or her career. You gain a sense of applied learning because you're not only learning new things, you're learning through actually applying them within the processes themselves that you deal with day in and day out. There's that knowledge, there's a development track associated with the way you learn lean and evolve yourself as the business and your knowledge increases. It's constant discovery. It's like you're learning every day. I compare it to when you learn in the 4th grade scientific method. It's all about experimentation and making observation and making guesses and trying stuff out. It's constant discovery, and it's a great thing to go through and experience. Recognition, achievement as you advance and you learn and apply lean within your own areas, and then advancement in personal excellence, personal influence, personal growth, and expertise. And me personally, it's been the personal growth aspect within my own lean journey, the things that I've learned both through successes and failures. Many companies and individuals understand that lean does matter, yet few realize the greatest value of lean is the integration and the understanding of how principles, systems, and tools promote specific behaviors and create and drive sustainable cultural change. Too often, businesses rely on tools alone without understanding the principles behind them. When principles and systems and tools are aligned, ideal behaviors follow, resulting in operational excellence. And the principles and systems and tools, they play key elements in the lean transformation and lean journey. As you use tools to improve systems, you execute the driving principles, the guiding beliefs of lean. And by design, as you follow the principles, as you follow the guiding beliefs of Lean, and make sure that our systems are adapting to those principles and utilizing tools to improve those systems and practice the principles, by design, you are changing the culture of the organization through application of Lean principles, through systems, and utilization of tools. Principles, in basic terms, a principle is a fundamental truth or proposition that serves as a foundation for a system or belief or behavior for a chain of reasoning. That's by Stephen Covey. Defined a principle that is natural law that is universally understood, timeless in its meaning, and self-evident. He taught that the values govern our actions, but principles govern consequences of our actions. Think of principle like the law of gravity. What goes up must come down. It is a natural law. It's universally understood, and it's timeless. So in the sense, Lean principles is the same way. So the principles, or our guiding principles within the Lean philosophy, is natural law. If you stick to the principles, the end results are going to happen. Systems, really, according to the eminent scholar and management expert W. Edwards Deming, a system is a network of interdependent components that work together to try to accomplish the aim of the system. In the case of Lean, the goal or the aim is to drive improvement. It is a structured, repeatable network of processes and or components, production plan, onboarding new employees, customer support system, recruiting. Those are all systems, and the systems, therefore, should be designed to adhere to the principles, the guiding principles of Lean. Now, tools, these are really just the devices or the items that accomplish a specific task. So some of the tools can be within Lean is visual management, tack time, Kanban. These all are specific things that are applied that accomplish a certain task or a certain application. So a Kanban signal, it's strictly a visual signal or an indicator. If you say tack time, that is just the rate of customer demand. These are simplistic tools, and on board, it's a communication tool. Standard work is a tool to standardize a process through documentation. It's important to remember that a tool is just nothing more than a point solution or a specific means to an end. And sometimes we tend to concentrate too much on the tools and use them as the solution and the system, when the tools are really there to help us identify more ways to improve or find a better solution. According to Shingo, he referred to the tools as techniques for problem solving, necessary but not sufficient. They're not the ends, they're a means to an end. He taught that tools should be selected to enable a system to perform its intended purpose until a better solution comes along. Lean thinking is the essence of the transformation process, and it's much more important than just using tools, which on their own deliver modest improvements, but Lean thinking must become ingrained within the culture for any substantial success in transforming a company into a holistic Lean organization focused on continuous improvement. Additionally, Lean benefits individuals throughout an organization by enabling them to build, develop, and shape a culture of learning and continuous improvement. This experience and change in their thinking shapes an individual's personal growth, make them more professionally competitive. So we like visuals. We're Lean people. We like visualization. Lean's overarching, much like umbrella. It's through Lean thinking, these principles, the behaviors, the culture piece, that one decides which system to use and which tool or tools is appropriate for a specific challenge. You'll notice that the diagram includes Six Sigma tools as part of the toolbox. There's a reason for this. Lean and Six Sigma methodologies can be excellent partners. They each prove useful in the right circumstances or the right scenarios. Lean focuses on culture as well as identification and elimination of waste in and at all levels of the company, its processes, and its system. Lean strives to reduce or eliminate 3 different types of waste: Muda, Murray, and Murrah, often called 3 M's of lean management. Alternatively, Six Sigma historically focuses on variation reduction. As variation is a form of waste, it will be identified while applying lean. And in those cases, Six Sigma methodology and tools is necessary to eliminate that variation. Organizations that are committed to setting a standard for operational excellence and driving a capable, empowered, and engaged workforce often use tools from Lean and Six Sigma. In fact, they share some common tools. For instance, consider Plan, Do, Check, Act, PDCA, and DMAIC, Define, Measure, Analyze, Improve, and Control. They're both strategies for achieving optimal outcomes. PDCA is a lean terminology, an acronym for Lean Improvement Methodology. Plan, Do, Check, Act. DMAIC is Six Sigma terminology, an acronym for Six Sigma Improvement Cycle: Define, Measure, Analyze, Improve, and Control. Both serve their purposes when applied at the right circumstance in the right situation. Regardless of the methodology, sustaining an improvement effort is critical. Engagement and involvement in those who do the work is essential to ensure that the solutions stick. Lean thinking, culture, philosophy, and principles guide companies and individuals in decisions about which tool to use, and it's often a combination of both Lean and Six Sigma tools. Top performers often hold both a Lean certification and a Six Sigma certification, as this combination provides a more comprehensive skill set than either one. As shown by the diagram, DMAIC composes a certain number of key topics, and so does Lean. PDCA contains a certain number of particular topics. There is some minor crossovers. Implementing a lean culture within an organization drives sustainable improvements and offers value to both businesses and individuals. Earning and maintaining lean certification demonstrates one's ability to ask relevant questions, why and how, to achieve the maximum results. And having done both and having made training courses for both certifications, there are certain aspects that without learning Lean and Six Sigma, you don't get a complete picture of all the possible continuous improvement tools and methodologies that are available to continuous improvement practitioners. For the true transformational change, a company must articulate and support guiding principles that guide a culture of continuous improvement by changing the way people think. For instance, the Shingo model, which the Lean certification is heavily based off of, introduces 10 guiding principles that will fit with the Lean philosophy. The foundation being cultural enablers, which focuses on leaders leading with humility and respecting each individual, which leads to engagement and individual self-value within the organization. Early on, I would say you focus on the continuous improvement principles, flow and pull, quality at the source, focus on the process. You can look at it like when you first get into Lean and you're applying tools at the point of the process, there's a lot of focus on those particular guiding principles to lead you to improve processes. And then you get into enterprise alignment, which is more looking at the enterprise as a whole, not just the process, the entire value stream, the entire organization, all functions, all the value streams within an organization, making it have a consistency of purpose, thinking systematically, and truly highly integrated enterprise focused on a single true north. And then results that create the value for the customer. All 10 of these principles form into these 4 categories, which drive the Lean certification design and the design of our own personal lean journey and growth and development and understanding of lean. So how do successful companies of all sizes integrate lean into their businesses? This starts with training employees to understand and use lean principles, systems, and tools. A formal global certification process such as a lean certification can ensure excellence and consistency both company and industry-wide. There is a depth of experience that comes with training and development required to achieve levels of certification, and continuing education, training, and work experience required to maintain their credentials. While individuals may pursue lean certification on their own, companies often choose to certify whole groups within the company so they can drive simultaneous improvements within the business. Many companies turn to lean certification to help drive an organization's cultural transformation. Benefits include increased return on their investment, leads to overall improved performance, it improves safety ratings, validates lean knowledge, it reduces turnover, differentiates candidates beyond their academic experience, but also on their in their applied experience. The lean certification offers benefits directly to individuals. It validates an individual's knowledge against industry standards and shows that skills are current. Shows commitment to practitioners' field and confirms that they have the necessary skills to excel. Provides a portable industry recognized credential that travels with the practitioner throughout their career, and it enhances career opportunities. Certification can provide a competitive advantage in the job market. It then improves marketability by demonstrating commitment to continuous education, your own personal growth, your own personal journey, and separates individuals from their peers who lack these credentials. There's 3 different levels, lean bronze, lean silver, and lean gold. While lean bronze focuses on the fundamentals of lean from a tactical perspective, applying the tools at a process. Lean silver, it more focuses on the integrated knowledge, lean knowledge, integrative into the systems, value stream level, and some leadership experience in managing and developing teams. And then lean gold, it's focused on the strategic transformation of an entire enterprise, with a heavy focus on the principles that guide organizations through the continuous improvement journey, and how do you lead massive organizational change. So my own lean journey, again, started out as a quality engineer by education. I was heavy into Six Sigma, became a black belt, and just over time, wanted to expand where I could apply continuous improvement. And naturally, it was just a good fit. In college, I learned about Toyota at the time. It was just a Toyota production system. It was just in time. A lot of it was the Deming 14 principles, continuous improvement, plan, do, check, act. And that's really a lot of what I knew at Lean at that time. So I started my Lean journey at the bronze level and moved my way up from bronze, silver to gold. And I can tell you the biggest thing that I got out of that journey is not all the successes or the failures, but the things I learned from application of Lean at different levels within the organization, across different processes, across different types of value streams, whether it was a service or transactional value stream or a manufacturing production value stream. But I'd say the biggest thing, me personally, on my Lean journey is the self-awareness, the self-awareness of my own personal growth, understanding how much I don't know, and embracing that, trying to find the things that I don't know, and then finding ways to experiment and learn more. And that's probably the biggest thing about my own personal journey is just the satisfaction in knowing that I'm growing in as an individual for knowledge, for experience, and that's never gonna end. And there's a good a joy that comes out of that, a satisfaction that comes out of knowing that there's always going to be something else to learn, another way to apply it, another person to help guide along their journey. So we're upon 30 minutes here, and I've got a time for just a couple of questions, and we'll get to the questions. And again, if there's any more questions that we don't get to, can't get to them all, but I will definitely reply after the webinar to any question that is out there. Again, you can use the Q&A section of the WebEx window to place any questions into that box, and I will try to respond back to those. So in conclusion, Lean's a smarter way of doing business. Lean certification enables individuals to apply the principles, systems, and tools that improve efficiency and drive results. Businesses will benefit from increased quality, less waste, better productivity, and more, resulting in a stronger bottom line. And at the end of the day, that's what we're trying to do. It's trying to get the companies to survive for now and into the future, and you've got to strengthen the bottom line and make that stronger in the end. So I've got a couple questions here. Let's get to those real quick. Again, how can I convince my management to practice Lean? That can be a tough one. First off, it depends if how much your management really knows about Lean, what it is, and how they define their future state of their organization. Because at the end of the day, if you want an organization to become Lean, it starts with the leaders. To transform a culture, you've got to start from the very top. You've got to start from those corner offices. Because if they don't believe and they don't become engaged and they don't practice a servant leadership, you're not going to be very successful at transforming an organization. Because really, to drive that culture within the organization, you need that top management engagement in it. That means they have to create strategic goals around the steps in the journey, in the transformation. And so to convince management, that may be getting them to understand what Lean is, getting them to define it in their own way of how they would like to see the future state of the organization, and then defining a path forward, and then setting up a strategic plan to get through that transformation, to get to that what they define as their future state for the organization. But again, to convince management, it goes back to how much they know about Lean and what they know, and whether or not they're going to have that buy-in to do it. So again, go back to the benefits to organizations, go to case studies, things of that nature. One more question here. My organization wants to become Lean, but we need a plan. Where should we start? Let me speak in consultant terms. It depends. It does depend. It depends on the company. It depends on what they do. Depends on the culture that is already there. If you've got a strong strategic planning and deployment, you can deploy it one way throughout the entire enterprise by setting goals to put in place certain Lean systems, using Lean assessments. You got to know where the current state of the business is. So Lean assessment is a good place to start, just to compare it to compare your organization to a benchmark. I was always suggest finding out how much individual knowledge that you have within the organization regarding lean. You might have some people out there that might surprise you and be really in tune with what lean is and how you apply it. And then you can always apply it when you're talking about tactical lean. You can always apply that through the Kaizen event method just as a means, as a tool, the Kaizen event as a tool to get people more experienced in understanding the various tools and methodologies. But there's a number of ways that you can go about it. I've seen companies that go with the full-blown, everyone going through some sort of training session or a week-long training session. I've seen it done that way. Again, don't just hang your hat on one method. It's all experimentation. It's all trying new things. If one way of applying or one way of learning doesn't work, don't be afraid to step back and try it a different way. And I've been through an organization that the transformation went so far up to a point, and after 5 years, we took a step back and completely changed the way we were doing things because we had evolved beyond the original plan, and that happens. So you have to be able to adapt and change as your organization changes. Again, sorry, I can't get to all the questions. I want to be respectful of your time here. We're over already, so I will, again, thank you very much for taking the time to join us for the webinar today and listening to what I have to say and what I'm presenting. I will commit to getting back with any other questions that are out there that I was not able to address directly. But again, thank you so much for joining us today, and I wish you all well in your journey ahead. Thank you.
Thank you again for joining today's web conference brought to you by MSC and Tooling U SME. This concludes today's web conference. You may now disconnect.